What's up, YouTube? Okay, so I got another Wi-Fi battle for you guys tonight. This was actually quite an interesting battle, to say the least. So this was in the team matchup thing. Yeah, sort of, as you can tell, I did this one. I'm not doing this one right now. I did actually do this one when I was laying in bed last night. So yeah, I sort of like, you know, have my dinner. I'm tired. I'm just gonna lay in bed and do some, you know, do some Wi-Fi battles and such. So this was actually quite a decent battle, to say the least. Now, when I was looking at his team, I was like, why is Mewtwo in this team for? So I thought, oh, what the hell, I'm just going to have a bit of fun and see how this goes. But the person was actually really, really good, so it made the battle quite interesting. So, and plus, for the pokes that I brought as well, it was going to be quite a challenge, to say the least. So let's get the battle started here. Okay. Yeah, so even though Mewtwo is obviously an Uber, I sort of let that one slide because I don't know, I wanted to see what this team could do. So he's leading with his Mewtwo, and I was hoping it wasn't a Mega Mewtwo because that would just be really annoying. I have no interest in playing against that thing. So I go for Taunt here in case it's going to be like setting up anything. He does swap into his Hilliwisk. That's got Air Balloon, so I can't hit that with Earthquake, which is annoying. So I hit that with Taunt. I go for the Thunderbolt just to get a little bit of damage. Just, you know, this thing's pretty weak anyway in its defenses, just to pop the Air Balloon as well. He goes for Grass Knot, maybe expecting me to swap out there into... I'm not really sure what he thought, but it still did quite decent damage to my Electro regardless. I'm going to go into Miltank here to take whatever special move that he was going to throw at me. And that was Grass Knot again. The main thing I see about this poke is, since Pokebank or none of that kind of thing's out, you never see Hidden Power Ice really on these because it'd just take too long to get, or it'd be very rare to see it. So you can always remember that. So he used the Electric Field, which was really, really cool. I haven't seen anyone use that yet, so I was like, cool, props. I like that. I like that originality. So I set up a curse there just to get my defense up. I know I'm going to get hit fairly hard by the next attack, being Thunderbolt. I have max health and max special defense, but it really does hit me like a truck still. So this Body Slam should finish it off, because I know this thing's got terrible defense. And yeah, so that one was down. So, you know, things were going okay at the start. Miltank nearly had half his health back as well. So out comes the Mewtwo here. I thought he might go for an Aura Sphere, so I didn't really know at this point what I should do, stay in or not. But then he goes for Reflect. I'm like, you bugger, damn it. This is gonna be really annoying. I didn't want to swap out either because it's Mewtwo. It's got crazy attacks. So at this point, I didn't really know if I had any attacks or it was just like a screener. I just didn't know because it seemed like it was just, you know, screening. So if it had Aura Sphere, it would have attacked me straight away. So in goes Mawille, has the Intimidate there, so that's going to drop my attack a little bit. I go for Body Slam anyway, just to get a bit of damage. Try and get a Power Hacks. More Power Hacks than damage. I get the Power Hacks there on Mawille, so that was pleasing. So then he gets the. Of course, he's going to use Mega Mawille for sure. This thing is so powerful with huge power. I set up another curse here just to try and bolster my defense a little bit. I think I can probably withstand this attack on this thing for sure. It gets paralyzed again, so that's really good. Really, really good. The electricity disappears as well, so he sort of has to withdraw there because he's not going to do much to Miltank now that I've got a couple of boosts up. It goes into Aegislash, and there wasn't much I could do. Like I could keep boosting my attack with Curse, but as I said, I didn't really want to swap out anything into this thing because it's just really an abomination that needs to stay in it. It's just really, in my opinion, this is a dead set OU Pokemon for sure. Out of all the 6th Gen Pokemon, this is definitely going to be in OU for sure. #1 candidate. There's a couple of others, but you know, things like Talonflame, that will not make OU, definitely not. Its attack is just, it hits like a wet paper bag, but the priority on flying moves is cool, but it just I see UU at most for that thing. Anyway, back to the battle, just rambling on there. So it goes for King Shield there. I thought he might go for another Sword Dance again, so I get a bit of an attack well, not a bit. I get a friggin' harsh attack drop there, so I'm sort of stuck in a bit of position where he's just setting up on me, and I can't do much. I'm desperately trying to get a Parahax off here so I can slow him down a little bit. And that Reflect just wears off then, so he's going to change his stance and annihilate me with Sacred Sword for sure. There's no way I was going to live that one. He's probably got over 1,000 attack at the moment, so I was a little bit worried about this, but I knew that I could probably bring something in with Sturdy or something like that to live the next attack. So he changes his stance again, which is fine, and goes for the King Shield. I already sort of knew he was going to do that, but I just went for Earthquake because Earthquake actually you actually don't make physical contact with it, so it's not affected by King Shield. I outspeed, which was surprising. I thought he'd go for Shadow Sneak or something like that. This Golem is max speed as well, so it's my little interesting set on going. Then again, Aegislash isn't the most fastest Pokemon in the world. So in comes Mewtwo again. I was sort of expecting him to go for an Ice Beam here, but he sets up the Reflect again. I'm like, this is really annoying. I've got to get rid of this. I've got to get rid of this Mewtwo. So I go for the Stone Edge. Might as well go for it because, you know, good chance for a crit. So he withdraws that. He said it seems to me as though he's just going to be setting screens up with that thing, and I'm not sure if it's going to get attacked. So in comes Florgs. This thing is really, really tanky. I also know that it carries Wish because I was going to actually make one myself. So I ate its berry there, a Key Berry, and that raised its defense. Key Berry, I thought Ganlon Berry raised defense. Maybe there's 2 berries that raise defense now. Anyway, so he throws up the Wish there, so it's not... things aren't looking amazing for my Togekiss. I do a nice little chunk of damage there with my Aegislash, but I know he's going to get all his health back. Throws up the Aromatherapy, so Mawille is going to be unparalyzed now. So his Mega Mawille is back and without a Parahack, so it's going to be a lot more dangerous now, which there was nothing I could do to stop that. So I'm going to set up the nasty plot because I know Wish is going to bring most of its health, if not all of its health back. When he does it this turn, so I'm just going to try and set up on this thing because it seems to me that it doesn't have a lot of attacks. It may only have like one attack. I'm thinking it may only have one attack like Moonblast, and that's not going to do much to Togekiss at all. Then it sets up the Carmine, so I think it's got Carmine, Aromatherapy, Wish, and Moonblast. I'm thinking that's what its set is. It's it's pretty standard. So I go for the Aegislash now, really trying to get a flinch or a crit here because of Serene Grace on my my ability. Fortunately, I get the flinch there, so I was really lucky there because this thing is really was his special defense wall and utility poke, healing all his status that I do to him. So that was out of the way, which was good. It's a pity though he got the Aromatherapy off on that Mawile. The Reflect wears off, so out comes the Mewtwo. Now I thought right here he was going to go for an Ice Beam because I know that thing's definitely going to outspeed me. So it was a bit of a it was a bit of a decision I had to make, and I didn't want to lose Togekiss just quite yet. I go into Slowbro expecting the Ice Beam because that was really the only thing I'd take it, and it sets up the light screen. So I'm like, you bugger, you're a dual screening Mewtwo with a load of speed. So out comes Mawile. He's bringing this thing out because he knows that I don't have any curses up. I throw up the Carmine here just to get a little special attack and special defense boost. Really here, I was going to go for Scald or Flamethrower. I go for Scald the first time because I want to try and get that burn, but I avoid the Play Rough, and I was like, oh my goodness, that was really lucky. Like, that doesn't often happen for me. So yeah, hits me with Play Rough. That does loads considering how much health and defense I've got. I go for the Flamethrower, and that does nearly knocks him out. I don't get a burn from either, which sort of sucks, but I'm going to swap him out there because I get my regeneration ability back and go into Electrode, trying to bait him into the Aftermath so I can actually take it out. He goes for Sucker Punch there because it's going to be super effective. I go for Thunder Wave instead of Thunderbolt because I thought he may go for Sucker Punch again. Then I may have a better chance of killing him with the Paralysis, and Sucker Punch may not work, but he just went straight away for the Play Rough and killed me. So I had a backup plan with Aftermath anyway, so that Mawile goes down. So that worked out pretty well. I do like Electrode. He's a good little... If they have a little bit of health, though, if you can actually swap him in there, it's nice. So into Golem, there's no traps on the field. I can freely probably get a rock polish up. Then Mewtwo comes in, so I'm still sort of scared and thinking this thing's got a move that can hit me. I I just don't know. It must have what I was thinking at this point. It must have some kind of move. Once again, I just go for the Stone Edge. Pressure from Mewtwo is really killing my Stone Edge PP as well because it's not maxed, of course. And so he does reveal that he's got Ice Beam. I knew he had Ice Beam. I just had a feeling that he would have it. It would be a smart move to have it, of course. So I get the Lychee Berry boost, so that's going to halve his Reflect there. So it's going to do a little bit more damage. Just a bit more. Brings him right down there. I was hoping, please don't have Recover or anything like that. I can bring something in after this. So I sort of have to sacrifice my Golem because I don't want to swap anything into that that monster's Ice Beam. So I'm going to bring Slowbro again because I know none of his attacks so far are super effective against me. And he's got Recover. So I figured his moveset out that is Reflect, Light Screen, Recover, and Ice Beam. So I was thinking, okay, you are completely walled by my boosting Slowbro. There's nothing you can really do. And I get a burn there, which was really nice. Scald actually worked on this one. So really all he can do at the moment is recover his health back. And you know, I know he can only try and freeze me with Ice Beam. That's the only thing he can do. And as long as I keep boosting up my Calm Mind, that Ice Beam's not going to do anything at all. And I can safely boost up my stats here. Why he still is getting hindered by that burn as well, which is good. So he sets up the Light Screen again. So I'm thinking he may try and swap out. But I know his last Pokemon's Arcanine, so it's going to be interesting with that swapping in. Even with the Light Screen up, I was thinking, oh, it's still going to take a load of damage. It definitely is. So he swaps out his Mewtwo there with low health. I was thinking, ooh, he's going to go into Arcanine. That was his only last poke. I quite like Arcanine's Sprite in this game as well. So Intimidate goes off. That doesn't do anything. I'm special attacker. I went for a Carmine again on the switch. Wish I went for a Scald here, but it was a good play on his part because I thought he was going to go for Recover again. So Arcanine goes for the Crunch, and that's obviously going to be super effective against me. It does loads of damage to me, and he loses a bit of HP as well. So I go for Scald here, thinking that it should just kill, and it hangs on just in the low yellow. It's like, damn. Yeah, I didn't want to take that Crunch as well either, so I swapped out again to get my Regenerator ability back for that Mewtwo, because Togekiss really wasn't any help in this match anymore, so yeah, I didn't really bother if I lost it, and I know that Life Orb damage would be eating away at his health just to get rid of my Togekiss as well. So I just went for an Aegislash here. So he sort of was on last resort, really here, thinking Extreme Speed may not have actually killed me. So he had to go for Flare Blitz, really, to get rid of my Togekiss, which was wonderful because his last Pokemon now is Mewtwo, and that Flare Blitz's recoil is going to take him out, which is awesome. I also had 2 pokes left myself. I tried to bring in my Medicham here. Try and finish and close this match because I didn't want to get hit by Ice Beam, but of course he's going to outspeed me as well. So that definitely tells me that he's max speed because I'm Scarf as well. Definitely. So I hit him with Ice Punch, does, you know, quite a bit considering the burn there. So really I'm seeing this match as in it's going to be a never-ending cycle really till his Recover runs out. So I know that my Slowbro can beat this guy hands down. There's nothing that he can do to me. All he can do is recover his health back and try and freeze me. So really at this point I knew that it was game here because of the Mewtwo only having Ice Beam. I mean, if it had Thunderbolt like that, it would have, you know, it would have been a much different story. Then again, Mewtwo's Uber, so yeah, it's sort of a different set. It wasn't too overpowered for this, but it is Mewtwo still, and it's quite powerful. Anyway, so really here, I'm just boosting up my Calm Mind here, and he's setting up his Light Screen again to try and block out my Calm Mind boost. Fortunately for me, I can keep boosting up my Calm Mind, and that's eventually going to get. Eventually going to take him down, and he's really forced here. He's sort of in a inescapable loop that he has to keep recovering himself and recovering himself. He really is struggling to get an attack off me as well. The attack's not going to do any damage because it's ice, and he's that constant fear of running out of recover and that burn whittling away at his health every single turn. So yeah, I knew the key to this Mewtwo was I knew the key to beating this Mewtwo was Slowbro, so I had to keep him back to the end. But of course, I had to also scope out what moves it had as well. As soon as he seen me go for the slack off, I'm not sure that he realised that I had a recovery move, or he did, or I was saving it. But as soon as I restored all my health, yeah, he forfeited the match. So there wasn't anything he could do anyway. But yeah, it was an interesting game. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle. It was cool. I got to go up against some really strong pokes there with my team. They performed pretty well, actually. Some good predictions on both sides too. It was interesting. I'm also in the process of making my new team. I'm having loads of fun making that. It's yeah, it's a very interesting team, and this yeah, there's some nice solid pokes in there as well, and there's a couple of gimmicks in there, so it should, you know, nice little mix. But yeah, thanks so much for watching my videos, guys, and peace out.